Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. I've just finished watching the Inoue Doheny fight. Very unfortunate ending. Inoue getting the job done in round 7. Doheny saying he couldn't continue. I'm not quite sure what happened. It looks like a bit of a back problem. He was on the back foot, he was on the ropes, and then he kind of put his hand up and said to the ref, look, I've got a problem. And then the referee waved it off. And then he's sort of walking, after the fight, walking to Inoue, walking to his corner, and he's walking with a heavy limp. So I don't know if it's a leg problem or a lower back problem. But again, it's an unfortunate ending. You can see Inoue clearly not happy after the fight. Doheny, to be fair, not happy either. But that fight was going one way. Honestly, it was going one way. Inoue was starting to go through the gears, and it was frightening. Honestly, it was frightening to see. I think from rounds 4 onwards, Inoue had worked out. Look, Doheny, to his credit, still landing some good shots, but Inoue had worked out exactly how Doheny was going to fight and started to read him a lot and starting to land some really, really good and spiteful shots. Started to land in a couple uppercuts to the body, started to land that straight right hand, which was just so accurate, incredible. Like, honestly, one of the best right hands I've seen in the game, just so straight down the pipe. But yeah, it was frightening to see him go through those gears and start to really turn the heat up and turn the pace up. Because again, like rounds 1, 2, 3, Doheny's doing well. Like rounds 1's always kind of a feel out round. I think it was either round 2 or 3. I think I actually gave to Doheny. He landed some good shots, especially on the back foot. But rounds 4, 5, 6, Jesus Christ, man. Like honestly, it's a credit to watch because his pace, like it's not reckless pace as well. Like you've seen fighters fight with pace before and it's reckless and they get caught coming in and it's just all over the place. He is fighting with such a pace, very similar to Loma, but faster. Like Loma's pace that Loma set, especially peak Loma, was frightening and it just wears you out because you're thinking, where's all these shots coming from? And it's a bit like that with Inoue because Inoue always seems to pivot from side to side. He can come straight at you. It's very, very dangerous. Power in both hands as well. And I think we started to see that. But again, look, I don't want to shit on Doheny. He was doing some good work there, but he was laying on the ropes. And I predicted Inoue would get a round 5 stoppage, and I thought that was coming. But round 6, you kind of felt like, okay, it's coming. Round 7, sort of watching round 6 going into round 7. That's why I'm very disappointed for Inoue. That stoppage was coming because Doheny started to really ship some big shots, and Inoue really showed why he is one of the best fighters on planet Earth. I mean, there'll always be this debate between those three, Crawford, Usyk, Inoue, every time they fight. Every time they fight, I feel like the order gets juggled. But if you're going to make an argument for Inoue being pound for pound number 1, I won't argue with you. I won't at all. He's given away a lot of size in there. But I think him giving away the size helps him because I think he's fighting closer to his natural weight. Don't have to boil himself to kind of squeeze into a division. And that's why I think he's got so much energy to do what he does. Like, I really would love to see the punch numbers for round 6 because honestly, it just did not stop. It was a swarm of punches from every single angle. And he touch you, bang. Touch, bang. It's honestly, it's frightening to see. But again, very, very disappointing ending because he would have wanted to kind of put sort of the cherry on top of the cake, if you like, because he knew it was coming. Doheny and his team knew it was coming. Like Doheny's corner, prior to him coming out for round 7, were like, how badly do you want this? And when your corner starts saying that, they know you're in trouble and they need to find something else. Like, isn't a case of them trying to give you instructions like, okay, when he does this, you do that. I was like, no, just how badly do you want it? And once you start hearing those instructions, you know that they know their guys only got a couple of rounds left. And I felt that was coming. I felt the stoppage was coming either round 7 or round 8 max. This wasn't going any further. Doheny was really starting to take some heavy weather. Look, the question will always be with Inoue, and it's a shame that I've not kept the stream on because I would like to have seen if they were to ask him what next. Like, what do you want to do next, right? I mean, the junior featherweight division is yours, or super bantam, whichever way you want to call it. Do you want to take that jump? Like, I do feel bad because we're always asking him to take jumps. He's already a 4-weight world champion. You can see in the fight he's giving away a lot of size. But once you've conquered a division, I mean, what do you do? Do you circle the block or do you try and conquer another division? And he might say, okay, he might look at the guys in the featherweight division and think there are some intriguing fights there. Like, it looks like Lee Wood could be staying in the featherweight division. There's a lot of talk about Lee Wood going to super feather. That's a fight that you could make. Nick Ball would be in terms of pressure from both fighters, that fight there would fucking, you need to watch it on slow motion because it would be so fast. Ray Vargas is there. Angelo Leo, who beat Luis Alberto Lopez, is there. There's some good guys a weight class above. The fight that intrigues me the most, and I know a lot of people are going to say, it's not going to happen. I get it. I get it. But let me enjoy this moment. Is Bam Rodriguez versus Inoue. Now, Bam obviously fights at 115, Inoue 122. It ain't that far away. It ain't that far away. I mean, can we not meet in the middle? Can we not meet at 118? Am I really asking for too much? I mean, I've interviewed Bam. I've sat down with Bam. I did the face-off, Bam, Sonny Edwards. Bam's huge. Bam has to cut a lot of weight to make the 115. I'm telling you now, he has to cut a lot of weight. Inoue's small. Inoue's small for a super bantam. Why can't they both meet in the middle, 118? That's your super fight right there. He needs a super fight. I think maybe we thought Fulton was that, and it didn't turn out to be. Bam is that. Because I'm telling you now, there are a few people that will pick Bam, because Bam is special. Bam is special. Bam, like the movement of Bam, like the pace of Inoue could swarm Bam, but Bam's movement, and Bam's got some pop as well. What's Bam's record? Bam can hit. 1 second. Bam Rodriguez. That's the fight I want to see. It's the fight I want to see, because I feel like him moving up another weight class, like, no, you can't always jump weight classes. But Bam's young enough to go one up, and I think Inoue, again, I think's undersized. So Inoue could come down. Bam, 20-0, 13 knockouts. Need to see it. Bam for me is now pound for pounder. Like, I have Bam no worse than number 8 pound for pounder. So you're talking 2 pound for pounders here. 2 guys unbeaten. Bam will travel as well. Or it can happen on neutral ground, the kingdom. But yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want to see personally. I wouldn't mind Nick Ball, but again, I think he's given up a lot of size. Seeing Doheny's size in there, I think maybe the size is going to be his only sort of problem. That's going to be his only problem. So look, we'll see what happens. But again, it's a shame the way the fight played out in the end, because it was going only one way. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the fight. Doheny on the back foot. It was almost like he was creating a puzzle, and it took Inoue a couple of rounds to kind of work out the puzzle. And once he did, that was quite powerful. Once he did, he didn't stop. But yeah, look, what would your next fight, what would you want him to do next? Do you want him to kind of, again, circle the block and fight guys within the super bantamweight division? Or do you want him to jump to featherweight, where there are a lot of guys, I just mentioned them? Or like me, would you want to see this super fight between him and Bam? Because forget all the Gervonta Davis crap. Like, forget that stupidness. That's ridiculous, whoever's thinking about that. Like, Bam is so much more realistic. Again, Bam is a 115 pounder. Inoue is a 122. And we saw that 122 looked a bit too big for him in terms of frame of his opponent, at least. Why not come down and have the super fight? Like, you won all the belts. You're double undisputed. You're 4-weight world champion. It's not about chasing more belts now. It's about having super fights. A super fight is Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez. Peace.